Hello, this is Sandy with Sandy's Crafty Creations. I'm here today for Gypsy Sew Laser Cuts to show you how to rust your chipboard embellishments. So let's get started. I have selected several different Gypsy Sew Laser Cut chipboard sets or pieces to alter to rust, and I am using the mini shape set Guy Thing and Chevron Words Travel Small. I've taken a metallic paint in antique copper and a sponge dauber, and I am dabbing the paint onto each chipboard piece, and I'm working with it one piece at a time because I want to keep the paint slightly wet, and I'm just dabbing it on with a sponge. And then I take the Rust Effect powder by Art, and I'm sprinkling it heavily onto the wet paint, and I will tap that off and also press it down in with my fingers a little bit to get good coverage. If you don't want solid coverage, then you would tap off what you don't want to be covered with the powder, the Rust Effect powder. And then after you do that, I'm going to set that aside on a paper towel. Decided to add just a little bit more to the top, and since its paint has already started to dry, I just dabbed it a little bit more with some wet paint. So this was the first piece that I did, so I kind of got the Rust Effect powder on a little thick on that one, and now I am taking some of the reagent, liquid reagent, and I have it in three colors. I have it in brown, yellow, and yellow red, and I use a combination of all three on the pieces, and I'm going to let that dry. And while the clock shape is drying, I will go ahead and work on the other pieces that I have selected. I'm going to be putting these on a little album that I've created, a little masculine album. I made one earlier for Graphic 45 and have a snap guide tutorial on how to make the album. And so for this tutorial, I am just showing you how to rust your chipboard pieces for that masculine look for a cover. I have now also painted one of the little gears and added the rusting powder and the reagent and letting it and the clock base dry, and now I am working on a bicycle. All of these pieces came from the Gypsy Sew Laser Cut miniature shape set called Guy Thing. So there's some really cute metal type chipboard pieces that you can alter this way by adding the rust product to them. So I'm also got you'll see on the paper towel that I have two gears, a anchors or ship's wheel, a bicycle, I call it a clock, but actually it's a stopwatch, and then a key. So I'm going to use all these on my little album cover, and I also have the word travel that's a chevron word. It's like on a little banner that I also will alter and use on that. So right now I am dabbing the paint again with the foam dauber, and it's metallic paint that I picked up at Michael's, and it is antique copper. And then while it's still wet, while the paint's still wet, then I sprinkle it with the Rust Effect powder by Art, and then I use the three different liquid reagents, the yellowish red, and the brown. So you could also do your base paint coat in a brown color or silver color, just whatever color you want your metal background to start off with. And once you have these all those elements on these chipboard pieces, you need to set them aside on the paper towel and allow them to dry. Now I let mine dry for a couple of hours, and you really start to see the rust effect showing up on the pieces. I did not try to dry these, speed it up with a Tim Holtz dryer, so I'm not sure how that would work, but it probably would work just fine. Now here I've painted the travel word from the chevron word set from Gypsy So Laser Cuts, and I'm adding the reagent to the different pieces, the bicycle, the key, and the travel word on the banner. And I'm adding different colors, so you just kind of want to squeeze on different drops in different colors in different areas to give it a more natural rust look. My chipboard pieces are now dry, and I'm zooming in on the camera so that you can see what the rust effect looks like on the pieces. I'm real happy with how this turned out. This is the first time I've altered chipboard pieces by using rust elements, and so I'm real happy with how it turned out and how they look like metal. I wasn't sure how it would work, but I like the end results, so I hope I've encouraged you to try this method as well. And I will show you the finished look on my mini album. And thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.